today telling me he wanted to be a stepdad, a volunteer father, a replacement dad, a discounted husband. And I said, stop. What are you doing? Better yet, let's not even have the convo. We need to talk about this on live. Ty been on my lives before. Some of y'all may be familiar with him if you watch some of the older content, but we gonna get into it because this conversation is needed, and I don't think there's anything out there on the internet where two friends are having an honest conversation about being a stepdad. Now, my job tonight is to convince him to build his own family. So tonight we're having a conversation live. It's going to be unfiltered, uncomfortable, and exactly how men should talk. You know, I'm going to ask him questions that a lot of people want to know, but they're too scared to ask. So we're going to be breaking down masculinity, responsibility, baggage, also baby daddies, all of it. So if you've ever thought about dating a single mom, you need to hear this. If you disagree, pull up. If you're triggered, pull up. If you're a man thinking about stepping into somebody else's family, pull up. Let me know in the comment section. This is Fitz Uncensored. No feelings, no filters, just truth. All right, let's get into it. So, my first question to you, bro. Tell the people why you want to be a stepdad.
Well, first off, let me say, and I guess I'll speak for myself. I don't know about you, but I'm not here to shame any woman or say that single women with no kids don't have value. Don't come at my neck. Okay, I'm just challenging this assumption that people say that single women with no kids versus a single mother uh, is better. Just want to get it out there. Now, go
Single
ahead.
women with no kids versus single
Yeah. Single
mothers.
mothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell the people why you want to be a stepdad so bad.
This guy. I think it's easier with single mothers. I think they already have everything that most of us single guys are looking for in terms of structure, discipline, responsibility. I think they also have selflessness, right? I think with modern dating right now, a lot of single women are focused on themselves. I'm working on myself. I'm healing. I'm doing this, that, and the third. Whereas single mothers, they have that aspect, but they know they have realistic expectations versus single women. They just have this ultimate build a guy type of mentality, and it has to be my way or the highway. And I think single mothers is just the way to go, just because you know living proof they got kids, so obviously they think outside of themselves versus just thinking about themselves.
All right, so let's address a couple things that you said. You you said that pretty much women that have children already have it together. That they pretty much they're the full package.
In a sense,
How
yeah.
can you be the full package without the main ingredient, which is a
Well,
husband?
you can say that for single women as well. How can they be the one that we supposed to marry if they not marriage minded?
That's not what I asked. I'm saying you said that single mothers already have it all together. They're the full package.
Yeah.
How are they the full package when they don't have a husband but have children already? The single woman without the kids, they don't have the children already. So that's the main ingredient is you've already had children with somebody, but you weren't the full package enough to keep them. But now they're the full package when you want to get with them.
Mhm.
So help me understand how a woman that's the full package is a single mother,
They have most of the characteristics that I'm looking for, and that other
such,
single men with no kids are looking for.
such
They
as
what I said earlier, right? They're selfless. They're thinking long term. What does that look like for me and my family? Um, Most of them are pretty self sufficient, taking care of the bills, got a job. Very
so are a lot of
what do
single
I say?
women without kids.
Mm,
They already paying their own bills. They already working.
I mean, I just think. single mothers hold themselves to a higher standard in all aspects,
Really.
and that
So
there's no playing games. This is what I am. This is who I am. You accept it for what it is, and I like that because that's authentic to me. I don't think a lot of single women are authentic.
have you ever been driving down the street and seen like an animal laying in the street that got hit by a car?
Hey,
That's you. If you decide that you want to go and step into somebody else's family.
how?
And I always ask myself, how did that animal get there? How did they get hit by the car? And so when I see an animal, I see an animal laying dead in the street. I see an animal that ran in front of a car and got hit. When you come across a disaster, a tragedy, a train wreck, aka a single mother raising kids by herself, do you not ask how did she get here? Because you're making all of these generalizations like she's the full package, she has it together.
Hey,
How do you look at a disaster and say this is this is all together? This is the
how
complete
is it a
package.
disaster? That's just life experience. How is it a disaster that they had kids with somebody that they genuinely wanted to be with at the time?
It's not that they had that's the disaster. The disaster is from your perspective. It may not be a disaster for her, but you should view it as a disaster because of all the things that come with raising somebody else's family. You should see that as a disaster.
But I don't though, because I'm okay with that. I like kids. I'm okay with a woman having kids because, like I said earlier, it shows me that she's responsible, that she can think of outside of just herself,
It
right?
shows you she's
Long.
responsible because she's not with the father of the children.
It shows that she had enough self respect not to continue to betray herself, being with somebody who didn't respect her or
But
value
you
her
don't
and her
know.
kids.
See, you're simping right now. You're simping because
How?
you're assuming the relationship ended because of
Hey,
him. And that's how people like you get played
what do
though.
you mean
You
because
get
of him?
you get played because you feel like, oh, she talking to me nice, she giving me gifts, she saying all the right
Hey,
things, and blah blah blah. So he must have been the problem. But men are not just gonna be like, oh, I'm out, I'm leaving my family, I don't love my kids anymore. That's a biological driver to want to be around for your kids and see them grow up and be a part of their life. If someone is leaving their own kids because of this woman, you should view that as a red flag. Not saying it's always her fault, but for you to just jump in head over heels and feel like he was the problem,
well,
that's used.
well, that's the piece though. How can you leave your kids and the mother of your children like that? You say it's a biological driver, but there's plenty of men that leave them for other women just because they have their own problems going on inside themselves. We know how men are. Men are influenced to have multiple women at multiple times. So I think I can make that generalization and say she decided that she didn't want to be second place to all these other women.
That's
So
just semantics.
I don't view it as a red flag.
So she decided she didn't want to be second place to all these women, but she'll be second place to her baby daddy.
How would I be
Why?
second place?
You will always be second place as long as she has a baby daddy.
Not
She,
necessarily.
yeah,
No,
you gotta watch this man come over and benefit off of your hard work. When you
no.
start taking
Who
care
said
of
he coming
her,
over? He not coming over.
that's not your decision.
It is my decision. What you talking about?
That's not your decision.
Yeah,
See now,
that's one of the things I'm going to place out there when talking to
no,
a woman who has kids. Hey, what is your baby daddy's involvement with the kids? Oh,
that
he's a piece of this. Okay, well, guess what? You get with me, then we throwing him to the side. We There's no involvement. Why would I
that's not
involve
up for
him?
you. That's not up to you to decide. That usually comes down to the courts. He gets visitation. He gets custody in the summertime. That's the point. You're throwing yourself into a situation not knowing that at any time this man can straighten up his behavior, depending on why he's not even in the kid's life. And now he's a part of your life. Now you in a polyamorous relationship and you don't even know it.
Nah, that's a
Yeah,
stretch. That's
you in a
overreach.
polyamorous emotional
Nah,
relationship.
nah, nah,
Yeah, most
nah.
men that want to go and date single moms don't want to admit that she still loves that man and that you are second place.
We all love somebody from our previous relationships. No,
Yeah, we can love people, but when you get involved in those love triangles, when their children are involved, that is a different story. Getting
no.
with a single woman without children and she got a crazy ex, that's not fun. Getting with a single woman or a single mother who has a crazy ex and who wants to be a part of the kid's life, it's a disaster. So
But it's no different with single women who have no kids because they're more attached to their partners than I think single mothers are. They're
but
still opening the door for them and leaving a gap open for them.
the difference, bruh, is that when you get with a single woman and that relationship ends, you don't have an emotional attachment to other human beings that also ends. So here you are investing in somebody else's kids and the relationship ends and you're no longer a father because you made a bad decision in the beginning to not do the hard work and go get your own family. You'd rather raise somebody else's family, and he can come in just like that and tear down everything you work for. If not by going and getting custody of those kids, but just by being a nuisance in your life because you didn't want to do the hard work up front.
Hard work. So I'm supposed to chase a woman with no kids who has no concept of being marriage minded, having kids, and that's pushing this feminist type of influence not only on herself but everybody around her. I'm supposed to go chase that. I'm supposed to go chase
That's a
somebody who
straw
acts
man.
who
That's
acts masculine instead of feminine when I can go to the single mother who has kids or a kid and build something with her and she's stepping into that feminine and staying in that rather than trying to be a
You're
man.
generalizing. Everything you just said, you can find in a woman who does not have kids. But you want to
I don't
make
believe it.
having kids the main ingredient because your
I don't believe it.
self-esteem tells you that that's what you need to do. You can find everything that you just said in a woman without children, but you don't want to do the hard work and you don't want to build. You
I
want
think
to
it
take over somebody else's family.
I think it's being strategic in your investment. And why would I invest in something that is a, a 50-50 when I can invest in something that's a little bit more higher in percentage?
No, essentially, so let's talk about investing. If this was a stock market, you'd be investing in someone else's portfolio, and at any moment they could take it away and you get nothing. But when you go start your own portfolio in your own name with your own social security number, that is yours. I'm
Yeah.
talking about ownership. You want to rent your family. I'm talking about ownership and you want to rent your family. Be an owner, brother. Stop. You got to get out of that kid mentality. Everything you're saying sounds
How?
childish. The woman
How?
with the kids, she's stepping
Hey,
in her femininity. But
she
the woman
is.
without kids, she not stepping into her femininity. You're looking in the wrong places. You want to be a stepdad. You want to be a stepdad so bad, and you're willing to make up any excuse to do it.
There's no excuse. I'm just mature enough to be able to step up and step in, rather than wasting my time with these women who are more focused on themselves.
So you would rather waste your time, let's say y'all together 5 years and it ends. Those
Yeah.
5 years, those kids aren't yours no more. You don't consider that a waste of time that you built up somebody else's kids, somebody else's family, poured into a woman, and then she can just walk away and you have nothing to show for it. You don't even have a legacy.
I think it's a higher risk for me to lose out with a single woman versus a single mother. I've been with women for I've been
How?
with one girl for 5 years and nothing, no marriage came out of it, no kids, no nothing. And
And guess
then
what?
we had a
Guess what?
conversation down the road at the end of, well, now I don't want kids and now I don't want to get married.
When you walk away from a woman who didn't have children, you also walk away scot free. You're not on the, you didn't emotionally attach yourself to children. You didn't play dad. You didn't think about a future where these kids were going to be your kids forever. That's my whole point. At any
I mean,
moment,
even with
someone
that,
can,
I can detach from the kids too. I'm not
that's
gonna
not
be.
healthy though.
How is it not healthy?
The fact that you can say you can detach from your kids would never be something that you would say about your biological children.
If
You
the
shouldn't have to
if the
you shouldn't have to
relationship is
detach from your
ending,
children.
if the relationship is ending, and I'm aware of that, that also ends the relationship with the kids.
Exactly. Yeah. That ends the relationship with your kids. That's not natural to build a relationship with kids who you're looking at as your kids, and then it's over. Y'all not my kids no more. I'm not a father. That's not healthy. That's not natural. And if you did the hard work up front, then you would get with a woman who respected you, who you had children with, and no matter what, those are still your kids. But you don't want to do the hard work. But I want to ask you a question. All right.
Hmm.
I want you to explain the benefit of raising someone else's kids because I don't understand it. What are the benefits to raising somebody else's kids?
That's a good question. I would say the biggest benefit is being able to lead by example and be a man and step up for them and show them what that looks like.
You trolling. You got to be trolling because
What?
everything you're saying you can do with a single woman
But you're
who
missing the
doesn't
point
have
though.
kids,
They not ready for that. These women are ready for that.
brother.
I
Are you
benefit
serious?
and so do the kids. I benefit and so do they. I benefit as being able to be a provider, be able to be a father, be able to step up and show them what life is supposed to look like. And they get the benefit of that. They get the benefit of having a father in the home, a man in the home, a provider, right? Somebody to see that loves a mom, right? So it's a win-win, really.
For who? How is it a win for you?
It's a win for
How are
me
you winning?
and for them. What you mean?
So it's a win because you get to play house instead of actually being a leader.
I'm not playing
Leaders
house
don't
though.
go. You're playing house. You're going
How?
out and trying to lead someone else's family, and all it's gonna do is end you in a situation where you likely end up in the same position a couple years down the road, but you're a little bit older and you have all this resentment, and then you sitting there talking about, oh well, women with children, blah blah blah, and then you simping online, and now it's even harder for you to go get a single chick because you yourself know deep within you, you're not a real leader. You're not a real leader if you
How
go take over someone else's family.
But don't we all do that in life?
No, not to this
We
degree.
don't. We
Not to
don't.
this degree.
So we don't rent most of the stuff because when we die, it's gonna be it's going to somebody else.
Bro, you moving the goalposts. We're talking about legacy. We're talking about
Hey,
biological children that are yours that does not change no matter what. That's a self-esteem issue.
how?
What why are you taking on responsibility that you didn't create?
Because I'm built for it. So why not?
So you're built for taking on responsibility you didn't create, but you're not built
I do
to
that
go
at my
out and do
job.
the hard.
Don't you do that at your job?
We're talking about legacy and having children.
But I'm asking you. I'm creating legacy within the workplace, and I take on other people's stuff
That's
that I
not
didn't
your
create.
legacy. That's not your legacy.
How?
That's the company's legacy. You're doing a job, you're getting paid to do that job. That's not the same as you dating a single mother who has children that are not yours, building them up, and then you walk away with nothing. You don't walk away as a
Why do you think it? Why do you think it's ultimately going to end? You keep going to that.
well, if you look at the data, what you see is that in these situations where men get with women who have children, the first of the children are not going to respect you 9 out of 10 times in the beginning. They're not going to respect you. And as soon as you actually have to be a real father to them, they're going to remind you at every single step of the way that you are not their dad. And don't let their dad, their biological dad, still be alive and be in their life because they're going to pit you against him and they're going to let you know you are not my father. They're going to let you know something that as an adult you should know already. But you're going to allow a child to tell you your place. That's not leadership
How would I allow them to tell me my place?
because they're telling you you are not my father and they are correct.
How do you
And
know
when they
that though?
tell you, how do I know what?
How do you know that? Based off the data, right? How do you know that if I walk into a situation with a single mom and I set the standard, right? How do you know that's going to happen?
That what? The the biological dad's going to still be in their life
No, the kids tell me I'm not their dad. We having
because
problems, the friction.
this this lets me know that you're not even ready to date a single woman without children, let alone a woman with children, because you haven't even done the research. You haven't looked these things up to see what are the experiences of the men who are doing the thing that you want to do. If you just Google, look up videos, do some background research, talk to men, you will see that is an overwhelming theme where men are being told, you are not my father. When I go to discipline them kids and tell them right for wrong, that's when they throw it in my face. And we're gonna go deeper on this, but the woman is gonna let you know subconsciously those are not your kids. Let y'all get in an argument.
How if we already have that if we, and this is what I'm not understanding. If we already have this conversation and we on the same page, how is that going to happen to me? Because
Because
I've seen it throughout my life. I have personal experiences with extended family who have come in and been stepdads to 3, 4, 5 kids, and it's worked out. And they still together today. So what does your data say to that? Because I've seen it in real life that it can work.
well, data doesn't say it's 100% and it doesn't work. The data shows themes and patterns and what's likely to happen.
Yeah.
What's
So
likely to happen. So
are we not able to work through those themes and those patterns? Because I've seen them
what
happen. So
So essentially, what you're trying to do is you're trying to take the exception and make it seem like a rule. And this is why y'all end up raising somebody else's family and not benefiting from it, and your genetic makeup does not get passed on. And it's like we live in a world where dudes are willing to scam themselves. You're gonna sit here and say that you don't understand that it is high risk to take care of another man's children. You don't
yeah.
understand that? I just
Here's
don't
a
understand why you're
but
so
here
comfortable playing second.
but I'm not playing second though, because the people that I've grown up around, they've all had blended families. And they all had stepdads and they've always been first.
N-
So
Key word, they've all had stepdads.
yeah,
Most of them had multiple stepdads.
yeah. Sometimes things don't
Multiple
work out.
multiple stepdads, and you're likely to be one of the things that just don't work out, because I'm telling you, it may seem good when you first get in the cookie and you it's lovey-dovey, we playing house,
Yeah.
but when y'all start getting in arguments and having actual relationship issues and things start weighing down, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, them ain't even my kids, they disrespecting me, they don't really care about me, they daddy's still in their life, when I go around her people and her family, they all know these ain't my kids, it's going to get to you. You may not see it now because
Nah,
you're in the honeymoon phase,
nah.
but it's going to get to you. If
I
you
don't think
truly
so.
are the leader that you say you are,
Yeah.
and you are a masculine man, there's no way
Yeah.
that you're going to tell me that at some point in time you're not going to look at the situation differently.
No, because I know what I'm signing up for. I know I'm going to sign up for everything that's involved, including the good, bad, ugly, and everything in between. So those things I already thought about. And if I commit to this and I say I'm committed to you and what comes with that, then I have to be okay with that. I can't be like, man, these ain't even my kids. I hate them kids. I don't even want these kids. I can't be like that. That's stupid.
What was stupid was getting in the relationship to begin with, but you were
How?
okay being stupid there.
How is it stupid? That don't make no
It's
sense.
stupid because it's high risk. They're not your kids. She's always going to put you second. And at any moment when she walks away, everything that you work for is taken away and you have no
Why? But
relationship
why
with
is
those
she gonna
kids.
walk? That's the thing, though. You keep saying that she's gonna walk away, but there's been plenty of success stories. So why can't I be successful with a single mom and be that leader, be that provider, be that father, right? Wherever their father's at, whether he's not here in the physical or maybe he's off somewhere else with another woman, whatever. Why can't I be those things? For what? How is it high risk?
I'll answer that. We got a question in the comment section. Someone says, Jane says, I wouldn't be the man I am today if it wasn't for my stepdad. But my real dad is still very involved in my life. I respect the hell out of both of them. Now, I want to make it clear. I'm not saying that there's not good step parent relationships. I'm not saying that men haven't stepped up and been great stepfathers. What I am saying though is if you are a single man who does not have children, this is not the most beneficial situation for you.
How?
It's just not, because you
You
have
keep
the
talking about
option.
benefits. What do I benefit from being with a woman who has no kids versus one who does have kids?
When
What
you get with a woman who doesn't have kids and you have children, one, if you get with her and she doesn't have any kids and y'all don't have children and the relationship ends, you get to walk away scot free.
So one
There,
foot out, one foot in type of mentality.
not
Then
one foot out, one foot in. But if it does end, you're not there's not additional baggage and additional trauma attached to that. That's one thing. If you get with a woman and she doesn't have kids and then you have children with her, those are your biological children. You're going to be more fulfilled raising your own children, and there's legacy in that. And if the relationship does end, your relationship with your children does not end
so how don't I have legacy with stepkids?
because they're not your children. They're not your
But
biological
but
children.
if I influence them and I have a successful relationship with their mom, we'll say marriage. We want to say relationship, a successful marriage with their mom, and I'm a part of their lives all the way till they become adults, and then they go off and do their thing and make an impact on this world. Is that not my legacy because I influenced them? I gave them pieces of myself.
It's a different type of legacy when it's your own bloodline. I'm not gonna
How?
sit here and say that it's nothing and it means nothing, but it's a different type of legacy when it's your own bloodline. It will always be different. If you went out and you did some good in somebody else's kid's life that wasn't you weren't in a relationship with a mom, you did some good and you helped some kids out. That's essentially what you're doing as a stepfather. You did some good, you helped some kids out that weren't yours. But when you are doing that for your own children, it's different because you are building your own legacy with your own bloodline, but you have to value yourself and your bloodline to even think like that.
But it goes back to the question: if the mom and I have a successful relationship and people see that, the school notices it, everybody sees that, aren't they a reflection of the principles that we're teaching them?
Yeah,
So that
and that's
ultimately
fine.
comes from me.
That's a different type of legacy though.
But I'm not
We
clear
just
on
value
how
different things.
having biological kids versus step kids. I'm not clear on how the legacy differs.
It differs because there's something different about you passing on your genes and those being your biological children. You you right now you're in a position to where you're single, you have options.
Mhm.
If you just had a deep desire to be a father and to raise some kids, fine, go be a stepdad.
Yeah.
But for me, there's legacy attached to it, meaning I'm passing on my family's DNA, my dad's DNA, my mom's DNA. I'm passing myself on, my essence. You don't get that when they're not your biological children. So, yes, you can do good and pass on lessons and things like that. But it's different when you're passing those lessons on to somebody that comes from you.
Okay. So let's say I do get with a single mom that can still have kids and we have a kid together.
Mhm.
What does the legacy look like then?
The legacy looks like you have, if you break up with her, is that
No,
what you're
that
asking?
we have a. I'm banking this on a successful marriage.
Okay,
I'm
so,
not
so
banking
let's
on this
let's
on
compare
like a.
successful to
I get
successful.
with them and then
Let's
we
say
break
that
up.
in
I'm not doing that.
let's say in both situations, the one where you're simping and you went and raised somebody else's kids and stepped
Mm.
into somebody else's family, and the one where you manned up and went out and got your own family and built something for yourself. Let's say both of those worked out and you were with that person until you died. Guess what? All you did was build somebody else's genetic pull up and pass their genes on in the situation where you're with the mom, the single mother, and you don't have children that are your own with her, and you just raise those kids. You've just passed. You've sent somebody else's kid out in the world, and you've made them successful, but you don't have anything to show from it from a genetic perspective. Your bloodline has ended. If you're
Yeah,
okay with
yeah,
that,
yes,
then
yes, and
fine.
no, because for me, I believe that when we interact with people, we give a piece of ourselves to them. So they essentially have a piece of me within them, even if it's not quote unquote
Pause.
genetic. This guy, even if it's not quote unquote genetic, um, I still had an impact on them, and they're gonna go out in the world and change it based off that impact and uplift my name. So people are gonna know about me anyways, regardless.
Bro, bro, you
What
gotta you like where did you get this from? I'm just like it sounds like you're
experience watching
it sounds
people,
like you're
you
a
know?
you're a dude who got in these relationships with women and they didn't work out. And this is another thing. If you can't handle these breakups and these breakups have gotten you to the point to where you want to raise somebody else's family, you will not be able to handle a breakup with a woman who has children and you don't raise them kids.
How?
You're too
Where's
weak to
that?
go
Where's
get a
that
woman
correlation?
without, because you're too weak to go get a woman who does not have children after the breakups. You're trying to cope with the trauma. Because you're associating her being a single woman without kids as the reason why it didn't work out. You're associating that. So you look at the women
Oh,
with children as safe, as a target. She's already wounded. She needs my help. She needs a man's help. So I'm going to go for the single mother because the other women without kids, they may be a problem with me because they may have more options. Whereas you get with the mom with kids, she may be willing to stay with you for you to take care of them kids, aka use you. You want to be used for her advantage and not your advantage. And that's the problem that I'm seeing with you.
I think that's
Low
a jaded. I
self-esteem.
think that's a
Not,
jaded perspective though, because I'm not thinking in a way of, oh, these single women have options. We know that single women have options, especially the ones nowadays. The modern dating pool is very, very, very jaded, right? And that's fine. You can have options. I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal to me. I don't look at and single mothers. They have options too. You know how many single men are reaching out to them, wanting to get with them. So that's a
you,
jaded. That's
you,
a
yeah, I know
but that
you.
but that there's multiple. That's a jaded perspective of seeing them as somebody who has trauma and it's easier to get in with them versus a single woman. That
It's
that
not a
don't
jaded
that don't
perspective.
make that don't make sense to me.
I'm
But I
flipping
don't
your
think I don't
logic.
I'm not thinking that way
You
though.
do think like that. You
I'm
just
not
don't know it.
but I'm not
And
thinking that they're vulnerable. I'm thinking of them more as they have the same standards as me. They have the same characteristics that I'm looking for. They're more focused on living a fulfilled life rather than dealing with the BS that single modern women are involved in right now.
so we got a comment. James says, I don't think he wants to be used. I think he has a strong connection with this woman and he wants to be a part of their family. Exactly. Their family. That is their family.
Which
It's
would be
not
my
yours.
family if I came
It's
into it.
it's no, it would be her family, her kids, and you are a guest. And
Mhm.
as soon as things don't work out, she will remind you that you are a guest. She will remind you of your place. There's nothing like being able to say, those are my kids. You wouldn't be able to say that to her. Those are my kids
Why wouldn't I?
because they're not your kids.
You're
They're
you're
her
you're
kids.
assuming I'm gonna find somebody who has that mentality. That mentality that they haven't
No,
evolved from.
you're assuming that you're gonna find this mythical woman who she's just
Why
a
not?
single mother because she made all the right decisions.
Yeah,
And you came along and just found this mythical unicorn single mother that
yeah,
has everything together, no trauma, isn't dealing with some crazy ex. Her
yeah,
kids are just gonna love
yeah,
you. You're gonna be the perfect father. You're gonna
yeah,
gallop off into the
for
sunset
sure.
happily ever
A
after.
thousand
You're
percent.
making that assumption, but you refuse to look at the realistic perspective,
That is
which is
realistic.
operating from the masculinity, thinking like, okay, what are the risks? You're not even willing to acknowledge the risk. And because
I
you're
did.
not willing to acknowledge the risk, you're not even fit to be a father. What are
I
you going to
did.
teach those kids? If she
I
has a
did.
son, you're going to teach her, go be with a woman that already has kids. You're not even going to be able to teach him how to be a real man
He
because
already
you
have that
made the
influence.
decision to not be a real man when you decided to get with her, knowing you could get with a woman without children and build your own family.
I already acknowledged the risks and the challenges that come with that. So if I sign up for it, that's what I'm committed to. And chances are that that son is already going to have that influence of him of being open to a woman with kids based off of his mother and her situation. So
And that is
that's not
degenerate. You were just
how is
raising
it degenerate?
you're just raising a new generation of simps. You're
How?
raising a new generation of men that would rather pick up somebody else's mess instead of build their own families. But the society needs dudes like you, so I'm not
So
mad.
so we need it. So what you're saying is that we need to throw away single mothers.
I'm not saying throw them away. What I'm saying is in your specific situation where you're a single dude, you don't have any kids, and you have options, you look around and you go, you know what? The best I can do is a single mother with children. That is my problem. You have options. You are not using your better senses to choose the best options. You are settling
What if that's how am I settling if I feel like that's the best option for me? If what I'm
because
looking
I
if I what I'm looking for, she already has that, and let's just say she has a kid, right? I'm okay with that. What's the problem?
there's no problem in terms of like I personally have something against you. I think there's a problem, and maybe it's because I'm thinking like a father and I have sons, right? I'm thinking, what would I tell my own sons?
Mhm.
There's no way in the world that I would say, hey, sons, you're single, you have all this opportunity, you make a good income, you can go and get you and build your own family. There's no way I would say go get with a woman who has children and choose her instead of building a life for yourself and building your own family. I'm not going to give them that advice, and I don't care how they feel about it. Single mothers are not useless, but at the same time, we have to be realistic that they went out and tried to build a family with somebody else and had children.
Mhm.
They should not be your first pick. And maybe I value
Why
you
not?
more. I'm getting there.
Okay, go ahead.
I value you more than you value yourself. Because if you wake up and look in the mirror and see a man that has to go get a woman who has children already, you've already lost. And I don't think you're in the best position to even be a great father to those kids, because I think that along the way, you're going to deal with some of that trauma. You're going to outgrow some of those things. You're going to get a little more confidence. And when that happens, you're going to be stuck because you're emotionally attached to those kids. You don't want to give up. You don't want to quit, but now it's going to be difficult to walk away. So you stay and you stay, knowing there's still that desire to have your own family, knowing there's still that desire to be raising children that are your own. So you're making a decision that is a long-term decision involving other people when you could just let her go get wiped up by maybe a man that has children, maybe a man that really can't get a other woman. You're taking her off the market, and now somebody else is going to get the wife you could have had and build another life with the wife you could have had. I believe that you can find a woman and build a family. If you don't believe that, just say that. Just say it. Just like, I want to know, do you think you can actually get a woman with no kids?
1,000%. But I'm
Then
I
go
don't
do it.
I but I don't want to waste my time. That's the thing. I don't want to waste my time dealing with a woman who is not already in that mindset. With somebody who already has kids, like I said earlier, they already have a clear purpose. They're already like I said, selfless. They're already
No, they're
focused
not.
on how are they not?
Because if they were selfless, they would have stayed in the relationship. We know that women in
But
relationships,
that that's
80%
that's
of the
jaded.
time,
That's
we know
jaded.
that women in, so she's selfless, but she's willing to not have her children's biological father in her life, in their lives.
You can't control what somebody else does. So for me, when I look at women with kids, I like that they had enough courage to go and try to build a family. Again, marriage minded versus single women who
Oh,
aren't even trying. They're just
I
casually
know.
dating.
What
And
did what
they
did you just say? You you're looking for a masculine woman. What did you just say?
how?
I value a woman who had the courage to go
Correct.
try to build a
That's
family.
not just a
But
masculine
you don't
trait.
have the courage to go try to build a family. So how will she ever
That's
look
not
at
just
you as a
a
true man?
that's not just a masculine trait though. Everybody has that courage. That's normal for everybody. So because
But
I
so you
val
value that though. You value wanting to go
yeah,
build
because
something, but
if
you
you
don't even go
but
do it.
if they say that they want to have kids, a husband, and they go and try to do that, I respect that more than the woman who just staying single and promoting this. Well, I'm gonna wait for the perfect man, and I'm not gonna give no opportunities and etc. Why the hell would I waste my time with them
You
versus
don't. You go to the next single woman who's
for
taking it a
what?
little more seriously.
What take it? So you want me to go to a different person just a different
Yes.
face with a different name who has the same mentality, but maybe more
Not the same
open to that.
mentality. You're generalizing. See, you're generalizing for the positive with the single mother, but you're not generalizing for the positive with the single woman. The
Because if it was
single woman
possible,
just isn't
positive
ready.
with a single woman, then we would be there already.
No, that's again, that goes back to you not being a leader. When you
How?
fail, you get back up and you try again. But you're settling. Instead of you getting up and
How
trying
is that
again,
settling?
because instead of you trying to go and build something for yourself, you're going, well, I'm going to make up something in my mind that says these single mothers, they're ready, they got their stuff together, they're more
They are.
serious.
Yeah,
But then over here, you're generalizing saying that these single women are not.
because they're
The
not.
single women that you've been dealing with have not. There's plenty of single mothers who are irresponsible, who don't have their stuff together, and who are not in relationships because of their own behavior. But you would rather give them the
Potentially.
benefit of the doubt instead of the women who are single without children. But I'm going to say this: you dating 10 single women who gave you a bad experience is better than you dating one single mother who gave you an okay experience and who you, I guess, fell in love with.
You crazier than
Because
hell, boy.
because it still does not outweigh the fact that at any moment those kids can be taken away from you and that you are raising children that are not your own. And it is likely to be the case that you will walk away empty handed from that. And those kids will forget you the moment they mama getting smashed and her backboard or whatever headboard smashing up against the wall. Some other dude nutting in your coochie, not your coochie, your ex wife's coochie.
Pause. Pause.
nothing, nothing in her coochie. That's what it is. You're gonna be an afterthought, and those kids aren't gonna think of you again. If they make it to the NFL, you're not in the speech.
That's
You're
okay.
not in the speech. It's
That's
not
okay.
okay.
It is okay. It is okay.
You lost, brother.
I don't think going into it thinking that it's gonna end is the right perspective, because I think there's a lot of women who still, a lot of single mothers that still offer a lot of value. I'm not saying women with no kids don't offer value, but there's a trend with single women now where it's, we don't need men, we don't need this, we don't need that. And I think that's a lot of women. I think you have kind of the rare ones a little bit, yeah, for sure. But they've had so many bad experiences that they don't allow themselves to have any new experiences. At least with the single mothers who have had bad experiences, especially if you get with one who has multiple baby daddies and multiple kids, right? They're still trying and opening themselves to these new experiences to try to find this love. So I personally would rather get with somebody who has maybe a kid, right? Because they're willing to try, versus a single woman who's like, I don't know, my ex did this to me, and this is what I'm gonna take and generalize every man in this world. That's a lot harder. So why would I waste so much energy mentally and emotionally and physically on this single woman who doesn't want to be open to having new experiences, when I can have this single mother who aligns with what I'm looking for and is willing to be open to that versus them.
I keep going back to legacy. Those aren't your kids. They will never be your kids.
If that depends on the woman and her kid. If I'm coming in and the kid's 1, 2 years old, how much of a difference is that going to be? Now, if they're 15 and 16, that's obviously duh, right? We know that. But I'm not coming in, if they're 16 and they're above, I'm not coming in to fulfill a fatherly role because I've already missed 16 years.
So
I'll
you
play a
wouldn't
so
date a woman who has older kids.
I'm gonna play a supportive role.
Why
Well, yeah,
wouldn't you date
because
a woman that has older
then
kids?
it becomes about us. It becomes about the love at that point.
But
But
why not date?
I'm already going in and knowing my role is supportive. It's not, I'm not gonna be able to offer as much value as if they were younger and I stepped in.
Let me ask you this: like, what happened to you to get you to this point to
And that's
where,
it, brother.
like, what happened to you to get you to this point to where you're willing to just shut off your brain when it comes to this? I just want to know what happened because this isn't healthy.
I think I've gotten open to the idea of it because nowadays a lot of women have kids. I think majority of them do. whether it's one and some of them got six, right? So I think I've had to be open to the possibility of that could happen, and if I would be okay with it or not. So this is where that mentality is coming from. Is like, you know what? I've explored the idea. I've thought about it. Would I be okay with it? Thought about a lot of the stuff that you've been saying today. Um, and I don't have a problem with it because I don't go by society's standards or what they think I should be or what I shouldn't be. I'm okay with having a woman and having that love, even if she has a kid. I'm okay with that because there's still value in that woman. There's still value in building a family with them. Um, and go on that route versus going the other route. The other route's fine too. But again, I want to be strategic in the way I approach this rather than just saying I'm gonna date 10, 15 women and keep trying and keep trying and keep trying versus, you know what, this is something that I can be okay with. And I rather already have a foundation to stand upon than to keep having to build one with each woman, wasting time, wasting time, wasting time. I'd rather go that route. Why not? Like I said,
Yeah.
they have more of the qualities that I'm looking for.
What are those? Explain the qualities.
For me, with single mothers, for one, is responsibility because they have a kid. They have no choice but to step up and decide that it can no longer be just about them, right? That goes into the selflessness. They obviously have to pay bills.
Let's
So
stop right
they
there. Let's stop right there and take it one by one. So
okay, go ahead.
she's
Responsibility.
single, she's taking care of the kids, she has
Correct.
responsibility because there's nobody else there, she has to do it, right?
Correct.
How can you then say that she would be the same way if she got in a relationship with you? Because then you would be in the household and she
Yeah.
wouldn't have to do it all by herself. So how do you know that
Maybe.
that's who she is
Maybe. Because
versus like
most
she
single
has to do it?
mothers, even though they're being open to a new experience, they sometimes take their time with that aspect. Hey, these are my kids, right? We will say that these are my kids because we're just starting off, right? You don't have to do anything for them that you don't want to do.
How is that? That doesn't make sense.
What? How does it make sense?
Again,
If
bro,
they get in a relationship
no.
with me,
If you were with a woman who is having your biological children, that is not even something that would come out of her mouth. That just doesn't make
okay,
sense.
of
You're
course
with
not.
a woman
Why would it?
who's telling you're with a woman who's telling you you don't have to do anything for these children. So she's going into it letting you know, hey, I don't know if this is going to work out and I don't want you to invest in these children.
Which is respectable and that's responsible.
So you can't go into it being respectable and responsible with yourself saying, I don't want to invest in this or I don't want to do that. Because when I'm mentioning all these things, you're saying that's a negative mentality. You're looking at it negatively, but
Yeah,
it's
because I'm
okay for her to
committing
look
to
at
it.
it negatively.
It's not looking at it negatively, it's being upfront. Say, hey, you're coming into this, you know I have this, this is my responsibility. So I'm not putting it all on you right now on day one. But if we're gonna do this long term, then this will be a shared responsibility. But right now, it's okay if you're not as involved because we're still getting to know each other. We're still building. So what's
When do
wrong with
you
that?
when is it appropriate for you to meet your stepchildren? Your soon to be
What do you
stepchildren.
mean? Oh, I think that's dependent on the conversation you have with the mom. What y'all feel is comfortable.
What
What
is your
you
timeline?
I would say if we've been actively dating for I say 3 months.
3 months.
Because by that time you know if you want to be with this person or not.
Okay. So there's so much to unpack here. So your idea of
Yeah.
like a healthy thing, this is something you're signing on for is you
Yeah.
meet a chick, she has kids.
Yeah.
You are
Makes sense.
dating her and you have to wait to go meet your future kids.
Yeah. That's respectable.
That doesn't seem weird to you that
No.
you're dating
No.
somebody and you're giving it your all. You're the one that's putting
You're
yourself in the worst
you're
position.
you're not giving your all on day one.
I'm not saying day
You're not like,
one.
hey, I'm all in. but that goes back to what I said. I think that's respectable, and I think that's a responsibility that they have that a lot of women who don't have
Do you
kids
think
that
you're a
don't have.
simp? Do you think you're a
No,
simp
not
with
at
this?
all.
So you don't think you're a simp when you're taking care of somebody else's kids?
No, I think it shows a lot of strength, and I think it shows a lot of humility as well. And I think it shows that you're willing to put yourself aside to be in a position to love not only somebody, somebody else, but also what comes with them. And I can't be mad that they had kids because we don't live in a perfect world, and they
There's no
tried,
reason to
and that's
get
okay.
mad. You just don't have to date them.
But
You
why
don't have to get
not?
mad.
Why can't I? What's wrong with that?
You can. You shouldn't.
But I've seen successful marriages growing up in the South, and that's kind of a normal thing where people have blended families, and they're married happily ever after, versus the single people who are still looking, still waiting, and
Bro,
they
you a
never have
simp.
kids or they
You're a
never get
simp.
married.
I've tried to give you the benefit of the doubt.
What
You
do you
are the
mean?
textbook definition of a
How?
simp. And I hope you get exactly what you're looking for. I hope you get in that relationship and you see. The
I'm
only
gonna prove
difference
you
is
wrong.
you might have a little more grays on the mustache when it's
I'm gonna
over.
prove you wrong. I'm gonna
You,
bring them on here, and we gonna have a little family live.
bro, it's not your family.
That is my family, brother.
Let me ask you
I'll
this.
give you an
Do you
example.
see do you see any difference? Like, do you view having your own biological children as more valuable than raising someone else's kids?
Nope, I think they both have value.
I'm not saying they don't have value at all. I'm
Yeah.
saying do you place one above the other?
No.
So you don't place like your own biological children and having something that comes from you above raising someone else's kids.
No.
They're neck and neck,
Yeah.
equal.
No diddy. Yeah.
One isn't a better, more potent experience.
No.
Where did you get that from? Like, where is that coming from?
That's what I grew up seeing. You know how many men who weren't my actual bio father influenced me and changed my life for the better? And was that
No, we're
father
not
figure I was
talking
looking
about
for?
that. We're not talking about people
That's
that
where it's coming
influence you.
from.
We're talking about an experience. We're
That's where
talking
it's coming
about
from.
this is like someone spitting in your food versus you getting to eat it without the
How?
spit in the food.
That what? That's my experience. That's why I have this open mentality about it. I'd be okay with it because I've seen other people and what I experienced and the love that I experienced from them. You know, I'd be open to that.
Bro, maybe
That's life
maybe
experience, brother.
maybe you haven't just like no matter what, there's nothing like your own children. Something that came from you. Something that came from you. Maybe you have to experience that, but somebody else watched your stepkids be born. Somebody else got to see
Maybe,
them their first. They got to experience
maybe,
all of that. You
maybe,
should experience that as well. That
maybe.
is something that you cannot replace. And for you to settle and go off and try to pick up where somebody else left off, I'm not saying, it's the worst thing in the world and that it can't work out for people. I'm just saying there's a better experience. There's a better experience. And I don't know
How?
why you're not choosing that better experience.
Because if I'm okay with this option over here and I'm fulfilled and I'm happy, how am I settling? What am I missing out on?
Your own children, your biological
Those will be
children.
my
That
kids.
you got to be trolling, bro.
What do you mean? Those will be my kids.
No, they will be your.
This guy,
Oh Lord,
this
have
man hating
mercy.
on me for wanting to be
No, you
a
know what
good
they will be?
father, a good person.
You ever go into Best Buy and you testing stuff out and they
Yeah.
on the rope, the string? That's you. That's what those
What do
kids
you
would be.
mean?
They'd be the thing where you're looking at the new iPhone and you can't pull it away too far because it's on the
Yeah.
string, so you can't steal it. That's what it is. That's what having
Oh,
your
okay.
stepkids would be. And having your own biological kids is you being able to be free, walk around. They're yours. There's nothing that will change that they're yours. When you are with this woman, if something doesn't work out, those are not your kids anymore. But I want to ask you something. I want to ask you something because you might be getting awarded Simp of the Year. You might be getting awarded Simp of the Year because usually y'all simps be in your feelings. You seem like this is
Chilling, bro.
something that you thought about. This is something
Yeah,
that you sat
yeah.
down.
Reflected on.
You
Yeah,
you reflected on. You looked
yeah.
yourself in the mirror and said, "I want to be somebody's stepfather."
Didn't say that. I said
Usually y'all just get
I'd be
tricked
okay
into it.
with it. I'd be okay with it.
No, you said you're saying there's no difference between having your own biological kids and being a stepfather. Which one
Hey,
is it?
and open box is still nice, ain't it?
Bro, you lost. You are
An
lost.
open box is still nice. So to your example of Best Buy, if I can get the same laptop in this open box, ain't it got the same value? I'm buying it for the value.
No, no,
That's why
because
you just gotta return it.
in that example, when you are having a child that is not yours, it can be taken away. So in the example, we have to compare apples to apples. If you were to buy that open box version, and then at any moment Best Buy could walk into your house and take it back,
They could. They could take
that's
your
what having a
biological
step kid
child
is.
too.
That's what having a step kid is. At any moment, they can take your kids, and those are not your kids anymore. You have no rights to them. They're not even biologically yours. So even if you lose custody, if you had children that were your biological kids, even if you lose custody, those are still your biological kids no matter
But
what.
why does it
There's
matter if I'm
nothing
not
that
in
can
their
change that.
lives? That what's it matter if I'm not in their lives?
I'm just giving you an example that they're still your children no matter
Yeah.
what.
But if I'm
Of
not in their
course, you're going to
lives,
be in their lives, but they're
yeah,
still your children, even.
it's the same thing as being with a single mom. Oh, he froze. See you guys. Yeah, I was about to
Am
talk
I
some
back?
shit.
Go.
That's what
Yeah,
he gets.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's a different experience. But go do
I
it.
mean,
If you
hey,
want to be a simp,
you know,
if you want to be a
I'm
simp, go be
okay
a
with it,
simp.
man.
Go be a simp. I'll tell you one thing. Don't have your simp stepkids talking about Uncle Fitz. Nah, I'm
What you
not your
mean?
uncle. I know.
What you
Don't
mean?
we homies? Yo stepkids
Why
don't
not?
no. I'm not Uncle Fitz.
Why not?
That's reserved for the biological kids.
Who says?
You're not finna have me getting
Who
attached to your
says?
stepkids, and then the next day they not your kids no more.
That ain't gonna happen to me, brother.
It
We
is
gonna
gonna
have
happen to
no.
you.
We gonna have a successful marriage, and I'm gonna step up and do what I need to do if that's the case. It's better to have love than not have love at all.
You lost, man. You hear what's coming out your mouth, brother? Like,
Yeah, cool with it. Ain't nothing
all
wrong
right,
with it.
I wanna read some questions here. Lane says, well, no dad should be saying that. I think you're stuck in a negative mindset. At the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, whether it's a good reason or a bad reason. I
Facts.
partly agree with that. I do not think that I do not think that is the case. I do not think that is the case. I don't think that everything just happens for a reason. I think things happen mainly because of the decisions that you make.
They influence it. Yeah, 1,000%.
We got a comment that says Glory Road CR donated $100. I
It's
don't know
you.
if you did. I appreciate the 100. If we got 100, I appreciate that. I don't see it on my end yet, but
Hey,
maybe after the stream. But if you donated $100, I do appreciate that. Thank you.
yep.
You got me high. It,
It'll go to the
man, they
city.
scared. Did y'all really donate
Ah,
$100? They getting
he
me,
getting
man.
trolled.
Y'all gotta chill.
Ah,
Got me spending that money in my head. If y'all really do, if
this
someone donated $100,
guy.
please stop playing with me like that.
Hey,
See,
don't let
but that's
the
how it is. That's the step. stepfather feeling? I thought I
How?
had kids, now I don't. That's you.
Nah, brother.
I thought I woke up. It's a Tuesday afternoon. I got kids. Oh, what? We're breaking up. I ain't got kids no more. That's the life
That
of a
I ain't. It
stepdad.
ain't gonna break up though. That's the thing.
You you banking on something.
If we both on the same page and that's known up front, we gonna be straight.
Why wasn't she on the same page with her baby daddy
Because
though,
maybe he wasn't ready to be on the same page. Maybe he
bro?
was not ready, and I'm ready, and she's ready. So why not? It all comes with risks and challenges, brother. When it comes down to it, I think that if a single mom is ready to be on my level and I'm ready for that, then let's create it. Why not? Why? Why do I have to wait and keep waiting and keep waiting and date all these different bodies when I can just have one?
I I think that
Truthfully,
I think you're
if
just gonna have to be one of the. I think you're just gonna have to be one of the test dummies. I
it's
think you're
not, it's
gonna.
not. I'm not gonna be a test dummy because it's actually happened in my life. So
You're gonna be a test dummy, dude. You're gonna be a
how
test dummy. You're gonna get with the chick who has children already. You have no children.
a
You have
kid?
open options. You have
Yes,
open options. You
yes.
can go get with a woman and build your own family. You are
It's not.
choosing
It's
to be.
not. But it's not. It's not that simple
Let me
as what you're
finish. Let
saying.
me finish. Let me finish.
Go
Because
ahead.
y'all stepdads always like to interrupt. Y'all,
Hey,
that's what y'all do. Y'all like to come into people's lives and try to pick up where. Let me finish my sentence. You gonna have all the time in the world to be
this
a
guy.
stepdad. Them
This guy
kids
right
not
here.
going nowhere. Them kids aren't going. Her kids aren't going anywhere.
Our kids.
Her kids.
Our kids.
You have all the you have there's shortage of single mothers. So what I'm saying is if
Right.
you are a valuable man and you look at yourself as a valuable person and you're not in some situation where maybe you had a kid with her, she got pregnant, you were smashing and you have a kid with her and now maybe a little bit of a different situation, but you don't have any kids. You don't have any kids with her, she's not pregnant. You can go get a single woman and do everything that you can do with the single mother, but you are raising your own children
But
and
I'm
you are
being
building your own
strategic
family.
with
That's
my
not
time.
strategic.
It
Being
is.
strategic is not
It
raising
is.
someone else's
It
kids for their
is.
whole life is
Hey,
not being strategic.
why would I wait around for, let's just say, 10 plus years for a woman to get her mind together, a single woman?
Oh Lord.
You
Someone done hurt
you
you.
know, but you
You
not.
you need a lawyer.
I
You
need
need a
you.
lawyer.
I
That's
need
what you need.
you
You need to
to
go sue whoever hurt you
acknowledge. I need you to
for
acknowledge.
punitive
I
damage.
need you to acknowledge the single women pandemic that we have with these women who are not marriage minded. They love the attention that they're getting from these men. So why would I throw my hat in the ring to try to persuade them that I'm the one for them? When this woman who has kids sees me for who I am and says, "You know what? You have as much value as I think you do." Why? That's, to me, that's being a simp. It's trying to persuade a woman and perform for her to say, "I'm the right one for you," versus this one that says, "You know what? You're the one I want." So why
Again,
would I waste
you're
time?
you're generalizing. You're generalizing
That
the
is the
single women
trend.
without
That is the
children.
trend right now.
And it's also that so
That's the trend.
you're willing to look at the trend when it comes to that, but you're not willing to look at the trend of men who end up with their hand out like where are my kids at when you don't have your kids anymore
I've
or
acknowledged
someone
that.
else's kids. You're not willing to
I've
acknowledge
acknowledged that
it.
already.
You're willing to bypass that
No,
and not make
I said I am okay with the good, bad, and everything in between because I know what I am signing up for.
that's not masculine though to
But it
be like
is though, because
I know
I'm
I'm
being
probably
committed.
gonna be taking care of somebody
I
else's kids and
I
not.
am committed to that. If I love this person and she happens to have a kid, I am committing to not only her but her kid. And
Why not
I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make it work.
why not commit yourself to building your own family though? If you have the commitment to go raise somebody else's family, why not commit to being a better version of yourself? Why not commit to building yourself up so that you can go get that woman without children? Why are you taking the lazy way out?
It's not the lazy way. Whoever wants to get down with me and has, again, it is aligned with me in harmony with that, why shouldn't I consider this
Because
versus
you don't
having
see
to
your
perform?
value. You don't see your value.
How,
Let's say that
if I'm going to somebody who sees my value, how is that not knowing my value? How is
because
hold
you
on,
don't
hold on,
see
hold on,
your
hold on,
own value.
hold on. How don't I see my value? Because I have somebody over here that's saying, you know what, I know what I have, versus this woman I have to continuously perform for to meet whatever unrealistic expectations that she has because she has so many options and I'm not even a thought in her mind. So what? So
Let me
how?
let me explain it
I'm
to you.
betraying my value by dating 10 different women trying to see who's for me when I can date one and you know what? This is what
No,
I want.
you could still have to go through multiple single mothers. You
Nah,
see,
nah,
you keep on painting a
nah.
picture. You keep on painting
That's
a
not
picture
realistic.
where
That's not realistic.
the single
Nah.
mother is perfect and the woman without
I'm
kids
not saying
is
she's perfect.
imperfect.
I'm not
You're
saying she's
saying,
perfect.
"Oh,
We
I'm just going to
we've
come
already
across one single mom."
we've already acknowledged that the single mother is not perfect because they went out and tried to have a family. Where the single woman, I think she's playing it safe.
Okay,
Because
let me ask you this then.
she just keeps casually dating.
Let me ask you
She's not
this.
going to get build a family either.
Let me ask you this then, because you're placing the single mother above the single woman who doesn't have kids. If that's the case, shouldn't it work in reverse? Shouldn't single fathers be more valuable than you? Why doesn't she go get with the single father?
She could.
But why is she choosing
She
you?
could.
Why not go get with the single father
She
and
could.
use your logic like, well, he
She
already
could.
tried to create a family. At
Yeah,
least
she
he's
could.
doing something.
She could.
Why don't you step up and be the
She could.
example?
She could.
Go try to create your own family. And then if it doesn't work, go get with the
Could.
single mom. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with the way I want to do it either? I think both ways are fine. And I'm cool with
There's
that,
a
vice
better
versa.
way. There's a
What
better way.
how is it better?
Because when you raise somebody else's children, it's not healthy, it's not
How
natural,
is it
and
not
at any
healthy?
moment the relationship
How
can
is it
end,
not
and those aren't
natural?
your. It
People
is not
people
natural to raise
hold on,
somebody
stop.
else's
Flag
kids.
on the play. They have been doing that for centuries. What are you
No,
talking about?
you're misconstruing it. What would happen was
Nah.
people lived in villages and they weren't raising somebody else's children
They
because
were.
they got with the woman. They were raising somebody else's children because men went off to war and things would happen to them. And they weren't raising them as their kids. They were raising them as just, I'm a man in the village. I have my own children.
But they
I have
married
my
their
own children.
mothers and became their father.
That was no, that was not happening in the way that it's happening now. In many cases, they didn't even know if that was their child or not. They didn't have DNA testing, so they were likely getting with women who they thought,
They still stepped up though.
nah,
They still stepped up.
y'all, you got to be trolling, bro.
I'm not trolling.
You got to be trolling.
I'm not trolling at all.
There's no way you can tell me. There is no way you can tell me that you value single mothers over women without children when it comes to building a family.
I'm telling you, I value them. Yes, I've been defending this what I'm saying this whole time.
I think you're just gonna have to learn the hard way.
There ain't no hard way.
Yeah, there is.
There's not. Not if I'm stepping with attention.
If you're
No.
in the chat right now, if you're chat, let me know in the comments, is he a simp for
Nope.
wanting to go raise another
Nope.
man's kids? Does that make
Nope.
him a simp? Because I'm
Nope.
calling him a simp. Does
Nope.
that make him a simp?
Nope.
Let me
N-
know in the comment section.
Nope.
Is he a simp for wanting to go raise another man's
Mm-mm.
kids? He has no children of his own. He's single. He can go get a single woman. He wants to raise somebody else's children.
Not
Does
wants
that
to.
make him a simp?
I have consideration for a single mother
You about to get trapped.
if it were to come my way, I'm open to it.
You about to get trapped.
I'm open to it.
You about to get trapped. I
I'm
got a
open to it.
couple more questions. I don't want to beat a dead horse.
I'm open to it.
I think we see where you at with it, and you know we've yeah. All right. I want to kind of know your limits. Would you marry her if she had 3 kids?
I'm talking about one kid, maybe two. Anything over that, I might not be
What's the
open to it
difference? Why?
because there's more that comes with that.
Like
Having
what?
3 kids. That's a little bit. I don't know if I'm prepared for that.
What do you need to be prepared for?
3 kids versus 1?
Okay, would you, if she
Brother.
had 1 kid, would you have 2 kids with her?
Yeah.
So you'd still be raising 3 kids.
Yeah, but
What's the difference? If
that
you
would come
view
over time.
biological kids the same as her kids,
That would come over time. Building it over time versus right out the gate. I like what I like.
all right, bro. Would you date her if she made less money than you?
Yeah, of course.
So you're okay with being the primary caregiver for children that are not your own?
Again, if I'm gonna be committed to her, if I love this girl, then yes.
All right.
That takes time to build. You think I'm coming straight? You think I'm coming straight in out the gate? Hey, I'm gonna be a provider for you right now on day one? Nah, bro. It's the same thing with a woman who ain't got kids. I'm not gonna come in and provide for you right there and then. It's gonna take time.
Where do you think you would like? Where is your confidence at on a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
I'm a 10. I stand on
So why
this.
don't you feel confident that you can get a single woman without kids?
I feel confident in both lanes. I'm saying I have consideration for a single mother if that were the case.
All right. I think you lost, but I hope
How
it
am I
works out for
lost,
you.
brother? I'm found. I'm
I hope it
renewed,
works. I
open
hope it works
minded.
out for you. I hope it works
Hey,
out for you.
I'm
I
telling you,
hope
we
that you
we
find
gonna
a
we
single
gonna jump
mother.
on here
I hope you find a single mother and she's the one for you.
for sure.
You've made your mind up. I'm cool.
Hey,
I've tried to talk you off the edge.
you can't.
You good.
I'm
You
committed.
good. You good.
Hey,
Once them kids start saying, I'm not you not my dad, and I don't want to hear
they're
it.
not gonna say that.
They gonna say it.
They're not gonna say that.
They gonna say it.
Nah,
They gonna say it.
nah.
They gonna say it.
They're not gonna say it.
What if they did?
They're not.
What if they did? What would
Even
that
if,
do to you? What would that
nothing,
how would that
nothing,
make
because
you feel?
I'm gonna address it, and I'm gonna explain to them how that is inaccurate. And guess who gonna
You're
be there
gonna
back?
tell
Hey,
them,
guess who
you're
gonna be
gonna
there?
argue
Guess
with somebody about whether
guess
you
who
not their dad or
guess
not.
guess who gonna be there to back me up? They mama.
Uh, oh my God.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
I done seen it. I already know what to do, brother. We good.
you a simp. You a simp. But it's
Nah,
cool.
it is inaccurate.
Yeah, it's no, he's right. You're biologically not their father. So you're gonna argue with a
A
child about
father
them
is a
saying
title.
something correctly.
Father is a
Here we go
title.
with that. A father
Father is
is
a
a
title.
title.
The
No,
the hey the priest at your church ain't your father, but you call him father.
I
You
don't go to
you
church.
well, some of these folks out here be calling other people father,
You be
and
calling another man
and
father.
not me. Never in my life have I ever said that ever,
Why?
because my dad wasn't there.
Now we getting somewhere.
So again, a title, because they can call other people father and get guidance and wisdom. But now I can't tell these kids that I'm being a father to them because I'm not their biological
Are
father.
you
Interesting.
are you their
Interesting.
father?
Interesting. Yeah. Yep.
There you have it, folks.
Yep.
This is this is where we're at in 2025. I do appreciate the conversation, respectful
Facts.
conversation. I'm gonna read some of these comments and then close it out. Carolina said, "The Bible says, 'Call no man father, but your Father in heaven.' So I'm not Catholic."
It's not just Catholicism that says that. There's all types of different um subgroups within these ones that Christianity, Catholicism, there's different subgroups that do it. So, but it's okay for that. It's okay to call somebody else father or a
No,
coach. That's like my
you're you're
father.
you're
The
twisting it.
teacher. That's
You're
like my
twisting
father.
it where it's saying you're like my
Nah,
father is different
nah,
than this is my dad. This is my
nah.
father. Yeah.
I'm going with it.
Go with it. Roll with it. Be a stepdad.
Yep.
Be a stepdad.
I like the
And
title. Yep.
I hope it works out for you.
Hey,
I
say it
hope it
again.
works out.
Say it again.
Be a stepdad.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Y'all wild.
Yep.
Y'all are wild.
Yep. Hey, some
2025.
so hey,
This is where we're at.
some
Women
would
have
say
women
some
have
would
t- women have trained y'all because
trade.
what it
How?
is you're not getting coochie. That must be what it is. You're
Not at
not
all,
getting
brother.
coochie,
Unlimited supply.
and you found a woman
Anytime.
who she has kids. You want the coochie, and
Nah,
you willing
that
to
ain't nothing to do
just
with that.
bypass nature, what's healthy for you, to go
That is
get with the
healthy.
woman who has
What you mean?
children, even though it.
That's healthy. What do you mean? How is it unhealthy? And I'm not thinking about. Here's the thing. I'm not thinking about it in a sexual way. I'm thinking about my values and what I'm looking for, what I want to build. If I'm like you said earlier, we'll go and date 10 women. If I'm dating 10 women, I'm just looking to get in their pants, brother. What you mean?
We got some comments. Urban Conservative said, "My dad adopted my sister before he had me with my mom."
Mm,
Okay, different
successful,
situation here.
successful.
When you adopt a child, you have legal rights to that child,
Yeah,
right? You have legal rights to that child. Now, I don't think even adopting a child is on the same level as having your own biological child.
but
Now,
I'm
I'm
their
not saying
father
that you can't love
legally.
a child who you adopted. I'm not saying there's not a real relationship there. I'm strictly saying if you are in a situation building a family with a woman who does not have children already is optimal. That's the only point that I'm
How?
saying.
It's
Because
not.
when you are raising your own children, you are not putting yourself in a situation to have those children taken away from you, one, but also you are putting yourself in a situation where it's optimal because you're raising your own children. Those are biologically your children no
They
matter
can
what.
still be taken. Okay, but even if I adopt them legally, I am their father.
Yes, legally you are their father,
Okay.
but there's something different about having your own biological
Yeah,
children.
but if I'm okay with that, and that's what comes with that, okay. And
They
then
go
if
raise,
she can have more kids and we have more kids, cool.
yeah, go raise somebody else's kid. You're still raising somebody else's kids, though.
But if
That's
I
the
have
point.
kids with her and she happened to have a kid by somebody else, that don't matter. I'm gonna view that kid as mine and love them like I'm mine,
It
like they're
does
mine.
matter. And in a lot of these situations, the biological child, the one that or the step kid, they still go look for the other father or their
Nah,
biological
not
father.
with me.
They go look for the I'm not you
I'm talking
can't
about me.
determine that.
I'm talking about yes, I can. You
You
just
cannot
said
determine
you
whether
just
they
said decisions. So if I make the right decisions and be a good father figure,
but
why?
that has nothing to do with the
Come on now.
decisions. There's a natural instinct to want to know where you come from. There's a
Right?
natural instinct to be like, oh, they look like me. I look like them. Oh, that's what they look like. That's
And
natural.
if they
People
already
will
know
seek that out.
if they already know who their father is and they don't want nothing to do with them, then what? They gonna seek it out then when they get older? Probably not.
A lot of children still go seek out a relationship with their fathers and mothers into adulthood. Some view it as part of the healing process. Some are like, I never got this when I was a child. It's not natural to not have your biological parents in your life.
Maybe.
So people go
I
seek
don't
that
know.
out. That's the only point that I'm saying. I'm saying there's more
Mhm.
complications, there's more risk, there's
Yeah.
more drama going into a relationship with a chick that
Both
already has
sides.
kids.
Both sides.
Both sides, but the reward is greater when you have your own children
Not
that are
always.
biologically yours.
Maybe. I don't know.
You lost, man. I don't know where we went wrong. Yeah, like Carolina said, they still want to know where they came from. They still want to know. And if you're cool with
That's
playing that
fine.
role, that's
Hey,
fine. But understand, you are always going to be playing a shared role for the most part. And in the back of everyone's mind, they're going to know those are not your biological children. If you're
Maybe,
cool with that, fine. Choose that. I'm
maybe
saying I think that you have it in you to choose better up front and to go for the optimal choice right now. But if you find
that's
that you can't
optimal,
find
brother.
you a woman, you can't find you a
It's not
single woman
about
without
can't
kids,
find. It's not
go
about
do
can't
it.
find. Nah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah,
nah.
yeah.
Nah. You know
You
my track
can't.
record. It ain't
You
about
can't find.
find. It ain't
If you
about
could, you
find.
would.
I'm
If
at
you
a
could, you
different time.
would.
I'm at a different point in my life, and I got to be open to those things
You don't. You got to. Meaning you can like. You got it. Why would you have to be open to
because
that?
that's life now. Majority of women have
That's your
a
life because you
kid or
haven't built
kids
yourself up
currently.
yet. You haven't built
Currently,
yourself up
I
enough.
have, brother.
That's your life.
I'm him.
No, you're not.
I am.
You are not him. If you
I'm
have to
him.
go get with a single
I'm
mother
him.
with children, no, you're
I'm
not.
him.
No, you're not.
I'm him, brother.
No, you're not.
Yup.
Nah.
Nope.
You him with a lowercase h.
Nope. I'm him, brother.
Yep.
You know
Nah.
it. You know it, and I know it. I'm him.
No, I don't know it. I thought I knew you till you brought this
Hey,
nonsense over here talking about you want to be a
hey.
stepdad.
I said consideration. I didn't say want to. It's consideration. I'm open to it. I'm okay with it.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments? We got any other comments before we get this simp out of here?
He hating on me. He
Urban
hate.
conservative said dual.
He hating on me, chat.
I'm not hating.
He don't want me. He don't want
I
me to
just
be
want you to
great.
choose better.
He don't want
I
me to be
don't
great.
want to show up to your wedding
Hey,
and oh, these are my stepkids. And I'm sitting there
I'm
pretending
not gonna
like,
say
oh,
my. I'm not gonna say my
I'm,
stepkid. These are my kids right here.
I don't remember you getting anyone pregnant.
Hey,
That's what I'm gonna tell them right to their face.
private life, happy life. You feel me?
Nah,
What you mean, nah?
nah.
What do you mean?
I feel it though. Hey, I'll end with this. I'll end with this. To be respectful. All right. I know there are stepdads out there that have stepped up, no pun intended, and been in people's lives. And, you were raising those kids like they were your own. That's fine. That's cool if that's what you want to do. But if you are a young man and you don't have any children, the optimal choice is for you to go get with a woman who does not have children already and build your own family. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I always want to advocate for men to go build their own family. Don't go into it trying to raise somebody else's kids on the get go. Most of the time, you're going to get burned. You're going to walk away without anything. And you're going to just pay for children that are not your own, emotionally attach yourself. And what we know is that men are already struggling with all this mental health issues. They're already struggling with all of the other issues that come along with being a man. The last thing you need to be struggling with is being in a relationship for 5 or 10 years with somebody and then it doesn't work out and now you're not even a father anymore. So there's no need for you to go and do that. You have value. Put in the work right now. Stop listening to everything you see on the internet. We're telling you that you can't go get you a good woman. Just put the work in. If you put all the work in that you would be putting in raising another man's kids into finding you a good wife, it will pay off and you will be happier in the long run. That is my closing argument. We'll let Mr. Stepdad get his little, you know, whatever
Get my rocks
he wants
off.
to say off. Yeah. Get his rocks off
Hey,
and try
hey,
to end on a positive note.
hey. To the people watching and that curious about being a step parent, be open to it. Be considerate. It doesn't anything everything Fitz said has some truth to it, but two things can be true at the same time. You can still be a leader, still be a father, still be a provider. Um, Comes with challenges, but if you committed to it, you committed to it, and it ain't no different than going for a single woman with no kids. You know what I mean? So if you got somebody who wants you and they happen to have a kid or two, you know, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Step up and be the man and lead by example.
Well, there you have it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Appreciate y'all. And go check out some of the other content too. Uh,
Stepdads unite.
nah. Nah.
Stepdads unite.
All right. Nah. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Peace.